Good afternoon, family. I hope everybody's doing well. I just ate lunch. I usually don't eat it this close to the stream, but I had so much stuff to do today, and I finally got a moment to make me and Mimi some lunch. So, hey, Mickey Brooks. Hey, Raven. We're gonna get this show on the road. It is gonna be a continuation from yesterday's show where we were talking about. Excuse me. I had some pizza. I had some I'm sorry, I get off track so easily. I had some pizza and I drank this sparkling rose tea beverage from Trader Joe's. Hey, y'all, still gray. And yeah, since it's bubbly, it's making me burp. So excuse me for that. But we're the name of this show is What's in It for Us. It is a continuation of last yesterday's show when we were talking about what Texas Democrat Rep Gene Wu had to say about pretty much he thinks that Black Americans and Latinos need to form a coalition with the Asians because with if we form that coalition together, we will be a majority. But it just does not make sense because his people are the people that help to get rid of affirmative action, and they're currently trying to sabotage the reparations efforts in California right now. So we're clearly not going to benefit from any type of coalition with any other group of people. They have their own goals in mind and they don't include us. We've realized that throughout history, people just use us for our they use us for our energy because we're the only people that have a legitimate justice claim in this country. Everyone else, they came here willingly. They have other places to go to. This is our home. We're not going to win in this country until we make it known that we are Americans. This is our home, and nobody can take us off of our square. That's the only way we win. All these other groups, they want to push us down and push our demands down and amplify theirs. That worked in the past. We were all too willing to allow people to treat us like we were just a footstool to their success. We're not doing that anymore. And with the delineation movement, we're making it clear there are people that are very upset about this, mostly people that look like us who were benefiting from um, identifying as us on paper, but still using their actual ethnicity, nationality, and culture to other themselves from us. So that's the basically what we do here at this channel. We we kind of expose the real and true intentions of these other groups of people who pretend that we somehow have aligned and we have a common goal. I believe that if you know your lineage past this country, if you know you're originally from another place, you can't be American. And it seems like these people are invading America from the inside out. And I'm going to play what Gene Wu said because, I mean, we watched it yesterday, but we're going to remind ourselves of what he said because, in my opinion, it's insidious the way that they're talking to us. It kind of shows that they don't have any like respect for us. They think that we're dumb, and we have to call it out every single time. Every single time we have to call it out because If we don't, they're going to think that they got away with it. And we're seeing it with the melanated immigrants. They think that all these years of them disrespecting us to our face and behind our back, they got away with it. No, they have not. And neither will the disrespect from these other groups be tolerated.
I always tell people the day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. Because we are the majority in this country now. We have the ability to take over this country and to do what is needed for everyone and to make things fair. But the problem is our communities are divided. They're completely divided. And I talk about this. I always tell people that
One of my main gripes with what he says and what they do a lot, they talk about division in a way where it's just like kind of mythical, like it just happened on its own, when we know where the division came from. All of these other groups have been divided from us since they reached American soil, and it was by design. So he can't act like he doesn't know why there is division. You all have separated yourselves from us, and he should know, him being Asian, and Asians put stores in our communities where they can extract wealth from us and not pay back into the community, because it's not like they live in the community as well. So he should know that whatever coalition that had been built in the past was one-sided, and we're not going to. The old cycle is over. The old cycle is over. I already what I said yesterday, I pulled some cards because I was just interested in knowing or finding out what is the Democrat goal, because it seems like they're trying to phase us out somehow, but also they want to kind of keep us in their back pocket. So it's, to me, it seems like they're trying to see how much they can get away with when it comes to us. And I was just wondering. So I want to read what I had tweeted, because I was tweeting as I was pulling the cards, and I might pull some more today. Uh, okay. So yesterday I said I just pulled some cards on the Democratic strategy, and they know they have to unass us our money, and they're going to pull every trick they can, including deploying their copycats to delegitimize our claims in order to not pay us. They know that there is no getting around us if they want to win the upcoming elections. So what I meant by this, because I was kind of trying to type this and pull the cards at the same time. Democrats know that they have to offer us something. I think that they lost a lot of our votes last election in 2024. I think a lot of us stayed home, and they don't quantify it when people stay home. They kind of just pretend like those weren't voters at all. So I would be interesting to know how many people actually stayed on the couch and didn't show up because they didn't want to vote for anybody on the ballot. That is the main reason why Kamala lost. Yes, they got 85% of the votes from people who actually showed up that day, but I think a lot of us didn't show up. They know that we are embarking on a new journey, a completely new cycle. And in this new cycle, we're not dealing with disrespect. We're coming for what is old. So they know that they have to deliver on some tangibles, some legislation. They're going to have to make some promises and deliver on those promises if they want us to vote for them. So, in the meantime, the only thing they can do is deploy people that look like us, that kind of mirror us, like the Latinos, because they're trying to pretend like the Browns have the same plight we're experiencing this country as the blacks. So they're deploying these people to put up in the front to make it seem like there's some type of rainbow coalition and we're all on the same team somehow. That's what this whole Shabuzi Bad Bunny thing is. They know that there's no getting around us if they want to win the upcoming elections. They tried that with the last election. They did not. I don't remember hearing anybody speak to us specifically until I think Kamala released uh something for something. Oh my gosh. Hold on one second. It's my son's teacher calling. Whew, a seam can be hell sometimes. Whew. Raven says she didn't vote. I hate they call them brown when they are white. Yeah, most of them identify as white on paper. So it's like they're trying to manufacture a buffer class that is more populous than us, that can overtake us and excuse me, completely dilute our political power. And they already have us in a place where we have zero economic power. The only power that we have is from what we spend, but most of what we spend is towards bills anyway. So they decided that the best plan was to just raise up a whole nother group of people and make them believe that they have the same experience that we do so they can feel victimized in some way. But it's clear that they don't. Austell in yesterday, Austell Gray said something like so apropos about that Bad Bunny performance because first of all, another thing on this channel, we're this isn't like a celebrity tea channel. We're not gonna be talking about celebrity gossip and stuff like that, but we will talk about celebrities if they do something that we can dissect and see a bigger narrative around it. And obviously, that Bad Bunny performance was just propaganda. But Austell Gray said that they um, pretty much tried to copy and paste the organic year that Kendrick Lamar had for Latinos. And that is so true because we can't win if they don't win. They're kind of tethered to us. And the brown is not just Latinos. The brown it includes the Indians and other melanated immigrants. So that's one thing that this whole rainbow coalition, it's really just immigrants, but they want to bring us into it because they need us. We don't need them, but they need us. um also, Grace said it's wild they are all saying the same thing at the same time. Yeah, it's clear this is a script. This is a script. That's why I called it out yesterday on Twitter. I said that the whole Shabuzi thing, him saying that this country was built by immigrants, that was a test. They were testing out a new narrative that they were going to push ahead of the midterms into 2028. I think that they were going to see if people were going to be perceptive to him saying immigrants built America, because if nobody said anything, that was going to be the overarching narrative. But there was pushback, and it wasn't just pushback from us, it was pushback from Bernice King. And once she said something about it, other people started coming out about it. And it wasn't that's another big thing. It wasn't just us saying stuff. It was also white Americans were coming out and saying, well, no, that's not true. So once there was pushback, I feel like they had to recalibrate and adjust what the messaging was going to be. And not even a week later, everyone starts talking like us. The whole thing is all the black pundits, all the shills, all the people that are talking heads on TV, they start talking about Black Americans built the country. Black History Month is for Black Americans. We really have to pay attention to the patterns of these people. Because one thing about it, every full moon, they're going to do some type of ritual. When there's a full moon, they want us watching. Hey, Melrose Radio. They want us watching when it's a full moon because they're doing a ritual. They're trying to get as much energy from us as possible. That's why these award shows are usually on full moons. Your favorite artists, they release their albums on full moons. You know what I mean? So we really have to pay attention to like the esoteric part of all of this as well, because we're not dealing with normal humans. We're dealing with witches and warlocks, and they're all trying to manipulate our energy in some way. And one good thing about the delineation movement, we're not allowing them to. We are not allowing them to try to manipulate our energy so they can move us, because once they're able to do that, they can move us anywhere they want to. And once we're emotional about things and not logical, they got us. But what we're doing is with the delineation movement, which is just so rare and special, this is an emotional subject, but we've dissected it down to the point where we can make logical arguments. We're doing this on behalf of our ancestors who fought and bled and died on this soil. But logically, we're right. And we can easily explain the reasons why we're right. Everyone knows we're right, but they're trying to see if there's any holes in our arguments. The biggest hole that they really have is Tariq Nasheed. And when you think about it, that's that's miraculous. They can't cut us down. And I feel like we passed over a threshold where there's no going back. So what we have now is people like Roland Martin and Deontay Kyle, like Alcel Gray says, they're sounding like us at the exact same time. It's suspect. Like I said, pattern recognition. We got to pay attention to the patterns. The whole ABC News special, I don't know who okayed it. I don't know how it happened behind the scenes, but apparently it went viral. It had thousands of views. Someone from the top had to have it pulled. But that could have been a test too. They could have been trying to see how many people actually subscribe to.
I have a sister because
Huh?
I have a sister because she's a weirdo.
Okay.
Because
Honey, I'm trying to work, okay? Can you come back?
You're still working?
Yes, I am. Can you come back? When I'm finished, we'll go pick up a seam, okay? Thank you.
I'm talking to my sister on the phone.
You're talking to your sister on the phone?
Mhm.
Okay. She ain't got no sister. I don't know what she's talking about. She looks so cute right now. I'll probably let y'all see what she looks like at the end of the show. But yeah. What was I saying? Pattern recognition. Oh yeah, maybe that ABC News thing was a test too. Maybe they were trying to see how many people were going to boost the video. You know what I mean? How many times it was shared, how many times it was viewed, how many comments. You know what I mean? That's like a good way. The analytics is a good way of seeing, how large the impact really is. So I just want us to just pay attention to everything that's happening, every little thing, because it all means something. Of course they know our power. They've been subsisting on our power for hundreds of years. And they knew that this time was going to come where we were going to step into our power. They've been delaying it. They've been delaying it. Ever since the end of the Civil War when we were freed, Reconstruction, that was a way to delay our progress. Because as soon as the war was over, we had people being elected to national office. They had to nip that in the bud. They knew that we were going to end up gaining power and taking over the United States on our own. The people that created everything, 50,000 inventions. I mean, it's a no-brainer. Of course, these are the people that are going to rule. So they had to delay it. Reconstruction was a delay. Jim Crow, a delay. Redlining, a delay. Integration was a delay. And everything that came after with the war on drugs, mass incarceration, mass immigration, all of these things were to delay this moment. And I feel like it came right on time. So we are in a very, very special time right now. We can't allow people outside of our group to try to sway us either way. This Gene Wu guy, he's out of his rabbit ass mind if he thinks that we're about to align with him and his people in whatever coalition he thinks that he's going to build. No, we're doing our own thing. Because this is the time for us to get the justice that we were always supposed to have. Raven says, that's why I believe we are the chosen ones and the true children of the sun and the real melanin black group of people. Yeah, I agree. And this is the end of their rule. The oppressive rule is over. This is the beginning of our rule. So it's important that we know what we're going to do moving forward. That's why I've said that we have to move with integrity. We have to have a strong moral compass, and we have to know what the code is. Because as long as we're on code, we'll move as one big Negro. If we are swayed by money, if we are swayed by material things, they'll be able to get us. But we have to know the reason why we want reparations, why we want to be fairly represented in government. We have to know there's a reason for those things. There's a higher purpose to it all. And I think now we're moving that way. And it's scaring people because we were moving like zombies before, allowing ourselves to be controlled. But we've shown that we're not going to allow ourselves to be controlled anymore. So, let me go back to okay. The next post I said, their only saving grace is hoping that we ruin our own movement, moving too hastily with our words. We are in a very abundant energy. The wheel of fortune is in our favor. So, what I mean by that is they're watching us because they think that they'll be able to say that we are a hate group. They want to be able to say that we are a hate group and we say these things about immigrants. We say these things about anybody that's outside of our group. They're trying to figure out how they can explain us away, demonize us to the public so that we lose all credibility that we have already garnered. So we have to be careful about what we say. I think we do a good job of mixing the snarky with the logical statements. You know what I mean? Because these people come at us nasty, and we come back at them nasty. But we also have evidence to back everything up that we're saying. So just be on the alert. They're going to try to make us into a hate group. If you've noticed, they're specifying Black Americans from other groups of people. But I was watching Roland the other day, and he called himself an African American. We know that Roland Martin is Haitian. So they're being tricky with their words. You know what I mean? I think what they're going to do is try to make us Black American and make the rest of them African American. You know what I mean? And there's already legislation on the books for African Americans. So we have to really watch what they're doing. They're trying to do a bait and switch. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I see it happening. And I also feel like them trying to talk like us is only going to happen during Black History Month. When this month is over, they're going to change their rhetoric, and we have to pay attention because we have to watch how it changes. Raven says, when I found out that the civil rights movement coined the term brown for Latinos yesterday, I was like, yeah, we're the truth. Yeah, it seems like they're trying to bring up the brown group in order to drown us out. Like, we're the clean glass and the browns are the dirty glass. There's clearly a difference. But they want to make us the dirty glass and the browns the clean glass. So I also think that's why, backing up, because I forgot that I didn't make this other point. So Shabuzi says immigrants built America. That fails miserably. And I believe that they were going to continue that theme into Bad Bunny's performance, because this is all about them telling a narrative. You know what I mean? This is them trying to tell a story. I think that they had to change the story to be pretty much America is for everyone. And then they zoomed out of America and they made it pretty much the entire Western Hemisphere. So they're trying to include a billion other people into America in order to drown out our claims. Like, I really feel like Black Americans are on the Truman Show. And I feel like everybody around us is really just trying to keep us in a box. So we're contained. They're all trying to contain us in a way. But they're watching us to see like how we move, if it's working, you know what I mean? And they're trying to make the box smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And around the box, they're growing their own numbers to go against us. So I really want us to just be mindful, because now that I'm seeing the way the media works to try to undermine us. I'm noticing how it's just not the major networks. It's not just like a CNN or an NBC or an ABC trying to propagandize us and tell us all stories. They're doing it through social media. That's why I'm only on Twitter. I'm only on Twitter because I like being able to discuss things with people in real time. But Instagram, TikTok, a lot of these other platforms, they're pulling in even more propaganda. And we really have to pay attention because these people are slick. And they're trying to see where they can hit us, where we are weak. Raven says they have been trying their hardest, but they won't. No, they can't win. It has already been written. But the way that we combat them is just by being very, very meticulous in the way we move, the things we say, and what we do. Because they're hoping that they're watching for us to falter in some way. But I think because we've been consistent, we've been able to move over a threshold where they can't deny us. And I think that's why they're starting to do the whole, let's start talking like you for a little while so we can see where we can poke a hole in your ideology. That's what it looks like to me. We're going to have more battles, but I think we've won a big one. We don't need to relax. We actually need to zero in even more and pay even more attention to what these people do and say. Austell Gray says now they are pushing if you live in North or South America, then you are an American. So now every melanated person is a Black American. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like that whole anybody can be an American show that Bad Bunny put on. It's insidious. It's really insidious. But if y'all are noticing, it's all targeted towards us. It seems like the entire world is trying to go get at us. Like, I really believe that that's what all of this immigration is about. All of these people coming here because they're trying to get close to us so they can try to become us in some way. And that's how we have K-pop. K-pop is nothing but old throwaway Usher songs and Destiny's Child, but these people are acting like they created it and they're doing something so much different. Nobody on earth is doing anything different from what we've done. We pretty much brought the entire world into modernity. If it wasn't for us, there would not be any industry in the entire world. I mean, it's a fact, Austell Gray. We're the only modern group of people in the world. We're the youngest ethnic group. And we pretty much changed the world just by existing. And all of these people, they feel weird about that. They're like, oh no, then what does that mean for us? Especially now that we're like, no, y'all aren't us. You didn't come from slavery in America. So no, you can't eat off of our plate. Everybody wants to take from us, but nobody is offering us anything. That's why I keep saying, what's in it for us? What do we get out of aligning with any of these people? These people think that there's strength in numbers. I don't even think, I don't even know if they believe that. Maybe they think they have strength in numbers, but we're a completely different group than these people. We can't move like them. If we move like them, we're going to be the ones that lose because we're special. I also said they believe they have the power to pull the plug on us. As long as we continue to move forward with love and continue to heal our lineage, we will be fine. Our ancestors have promoted us and gifted us with resources that are going to help us along our journey. Every gain that we've received has been a spiritual gain. That's why nobody can see it. They can't see it. They can't quantify it. They can't reach out and touch it. We have been promoted spiritually. We know. We can feel the difference. Just because they can't see it and they can't touch it doesn't mean it didn't happen. So in the coming years, things are going to be revealed to us. And what I mean by that is individually, things are going to be revealed so that we're able to um, handle our battles better. Things are going to get easier for us. That's what the gifts are about. The gifts are to make our lives easier. The other people, they're not getting these gifts. And there's people in our group who didn't get these gifts either because they still don't understand what's going on. We felt the shift. If you didn't feel the shift, you're not getting the gifts. You're not a part of the revelations. You're a part of the people that are getting left behind. We're on the right track. We just have to stay consistent and keep the main thing the main thing. Raven says because they aren't really melanin or black. Yeah, that is a part of it. But there's also going to be other groups of people that are coming into their own revelations, if that makes sense. We're not the only ones that are having this experience, but we are the people that are having a larger experience because our experience has been very, very exceptional. So, I mean, we are the leading tastemakers as far as culture goes. So everyone in the world knows who we are. So that's why our experience is even larger because of what we've been through. Like we're literally, think about it like this. Let's say you were getting paid, like you were getting a check every year of your life and you didn't know it. Like every year of your life you were getting a check and you had no idea about these checks and they were being put in an envelope or something like that. You know what I mean? Like let's say your mom was holding your checks for you and she put them in an envelope. And when you turn 18, she's like, "Here you go. These are all your checks. You can cash them all right now." That's pretty much what's happening to us right now. We are cashing all of our checks at one time. And there are energies. It's not, I keep saying groups of people and stuff like that, but it's really just energies. It's an energy that wants to keep us from cashing that check. But we earned it. We didn't even know. We earned all this money. We had no clue that we was earning money. We were robbing Peter to pay Paul, not being able to pay our bills, uh, having to walk to work, stuff like that, not knowing that we had all this money. So now you got millions of dollars. And it pretty much came to you overnight. That's pretty much what's happening to Black Americans. And the last thing I said, the media is going to pretend that they are promoting our delineation movement, but they're really trying to pull a bait and switch on us. All eyes are on us because we are manifesting justice. We are the main character. We got to move like we know that. And that's pretty much, that is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, we're standing in our power now. People were telling us, "Oh, you're African. You're just a lost African. People, white people in America don't like you. You're on the bottom. You're the poorest in the country." Like stuff like that was supposed to shame us. "Oh, you're just slaves." Stuff like that. That type of stuff is just used to shame us. And when you feel shame, you also feel guilty for who you are. You don't want to be you because people are making you feel ashamed to be you. But once you step into your own power and realize that stuff can't hurt your feelings because that's not how you see yourself, that's when you start manifesting justice. Because you weren't supposed to be treated like that. The treatment that we have received in this country has been terrible. And there were people moving here in order to continue that unfair treatment towards you. Austell Gray says it's a reason why the people calling us slaves get nervous when we ask them what their ethnicity is. Yeah. Because either they're from slave trading places or they still have slavery where they're from. Most of these people come from places that still have slavery. How many times have we seen people get arrested in our country because they're bringing people in from their old countries and they're keeping them as slaves? We have never done anything like that. A lot of the stuff that we see people from other cultures do, we don't operate that way. But they like to project that onto us because they're trying to put their own behavior onto us so they can take our behavior. They want to be in our image. But in order for them to do that, they have to get us out of our for example, they want to ride our bike, but they can't ride our bike if we're riding our bike. So they have to push us off of our bike in order for them to get on and be able to ride our bike. That's what's been happening all of these years. And it started with the Europeans, and then they started bringing in other people to do this. The Italians, the Irish, whatever groups, you know what I mean? The Asians, all. So now that's what people are moving to America to do because they already know that there's a baked-in bottom caste that they feel like they can mistreat and get over on because where they're from, a lot of these people are a part of that their nation's bottom caste. Austell Gray says, "Oh yeah, did you see the video where that Pan-Africanist woman went back to the tribe that sold her ancestors and they were laughing at her when she asked why they did it?" Yeah. Yeah. They know what they've done. They know what they're still doing. They don't care. And just because they are melanated like us doesn't mean that they share the same consciousness as us. A lot of these people just are bad people. And it's not just like an outlier. Like there's 100 people in the village and there's just one really bad guy or there's 10 bad guys. No, most of the village thinks the same way as them. They're all bad. So I said all of that because what Jean Wu said was extremely disrespectful. And it wasn't just disrespectful because he's assuming that we haven't realized who our oppressor is. No, we know who our oppressor is. It's not the same oppressor as your oppressor and the Latinos. The Latinos get special treatment. The Asians get special treatment. Just because you have to compete with white people. I think you said this, Austell Gray. Just because you have to compete with white people and you think that they have a better system of treating each other than they do of you, that doesn't mean that you're oppressed in this country, especially when you can go back to your home country and you'll have to compete with other people that look like you. These people want to victimize themselves. You're not a victim. And all of these people think that they can jump in front of us when we're the only ones in this country with a true justice claim. Nobody is going to get justice or reparations before we do. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It's like he wants us to pretend this type of stuff isn't happening. Look at this.
Good afternoon. I'm Yuyo. No AB7. Thank you.
Thank you.
She can't even speak English, but she showed up to the assembly meeting to vote no on AB7, which is post-secondary education admissions preference for the descendants of slavery. We're supposed to align with this? These people actually showed up in order to vote against us to have our justice. So things are fair for us.
Good afternoon. My name is Charles Wong. I'm a member of California Professional Scientists Association, and I oppose this bill. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Xu. I'm with Californians for Equal Rights Foundation. I strongly oppose AB 7. Thank you.
Thank you.
None of these people can speak English. None of these people can speak English. But for some reason, they can show up at an assembly meeting and say that they oppose us having any type of justice because they believe that it's not fair for them. It's getting nasty out here. These are probably the same people that would want us to show up at an ICE protest and protest on their behalf. It's getting nasty out here for sure. It's really getting nasty out here. I actually want to read a little bit about this group in San Francisco that is suing over the reparations plan. I don't think it's that they're lazy. I think they see another group about to get something that they feel like they should have. They'll work hard in order to get something free that they don't deserve. They just don't want us to have it. So this came out on the 5th. San Francisco sued over reparations plan. The plaintiffs claim the reparations plan unconstitutionally discriminates based on race and ancestry. A reparations plan intended to address systemic inequalities Black San Franciscans have faced is unconstitutional and racially discriminatory, plaintiffs argue in a lawsuit filed in San Francisco Superior Court on Thursday. The plaintiffs, Californians for Equal Rights, a nonpartisan nonprofit that promotes equal rights and merit, and 2 of its members say San Francisco's reparations plan is unconstitutional because it allocates government benefits based on race and ancestry. Mind you, there are AAPI initiatives for people in the state of California. So this is just like during the pandemic when the state of Washington was allocated some money to Black business owners just for them for the pandemic. And they were sued over that. So Black business owners did not get that money. It's the same thing. That's why we have to be lineage forward. They're going to try to throw ancestry in here, but it's not going to work as long as we're lineage forward. They want to, and other groups of people want to do this. They want to make our reparations claim racial so that it gets thrown out. We can't allow that to happen. We've gone too far and too long without the resources that we need. We can't allow people to use legal jargon to try to stop us from getting our justice. It says the reparations plan does not identify specific instances in which San Francisco violated the Constitution or any statute. It does not identify discrete victims of unlawful government conduct. It does not consider race-neutral alternatives, and it does not sunset. Instead, it replaces individual rights with inherited status and imposes a system of generational liability enforced by government power. A lot of mumbo jumbo, because a debt is still owed. It doesn't matter how long it is. I'm still going to owe Chase the money that I owe them. It doesn't matter how much time has passed, I'm still going to owe them that money. And the same thing goes with the debt that the government owes to us. It has not been erased. Both the United States and California constitutions forbid this. Government may not allocate benefits, opportunities, or burdens according to race or lineage. That's not true. And if they're going to do this, then they need to make sure that the AAPI initiatives and the legislation that is just for them gets overturned as well. Both the United States and California, no. The plaintiffs further take issue with the city's Human Rights Commission administering the program, which they call a misuse of government power. So, I'm not going to keep reading all of this. The short of it all is we imported people from other places to come here to undermine us. And they don't want us to seek justice at all. These people can't, the people in this commission, they can't even speak English. They can't even speak English.
Good afternoon. I'm Yuyo. No AB7. Thank you.
Thank you.
But these people are able to come here and tell us what we shouldn't get. Austell Gray says they would never protest or sue Latinos for the same thing. No, because I believe the immigrants, they're all on code together against us. Now they say we're xenophobic when we want to put a stop to immigration. What really frustrates me about all of this is that they're pretending like we don't have a reason to feel this way. They're pretending like we don't have a reason. Immigration has been undermining us since the end of the Civil War, since we've been freed. The U.S. has been importing people to come here to undermine our wages, our safety, education, everything that would make our progress possible. They've been trying to prohibit it. And this has been happening for 150 years, more than 150 years, almost 200 years now. Hey, Red Six. You said, remember when Google refused to pay out a workplace lawsuit to Latinos unless they excluded Black people? Yes, I do remember that. Yeah. So it's like all these group of people are on code against us. They're trying to get their own stuff secretly, but it's like they kind of know that in order for them to move ahead, they have to help keep us back. This is a problem. This is a problem. And then look at this. These people had a whole conference just in order to figure out and brainstorm how they could come up against us. Look at these people. This guy, Edward Bloom, he was the one that brought down affirmative action. And he used Asians to do so. This is the president. I think this was the guy that was in the video, actually. Frank Zhu is president of Californians for Equal Rights Foundation. Yeah, I think this is him. Right here. Hold on. I think this is him.
Good afternoon. My name is Frank Xu. I'm with Californians for Equal Rights Foundation. I strongly oppose AB 7. Thank you.
Thank you.
That is mad. That is so crazy. And look, white people, they put the Asians up front, but it's white people behind the scenes that are also making sure we don't get justice. So yeah, this is what we're up against, people. This is what we're up against. Millrose Radio says some are being paid to show up and oppose our progress, and some are genuinely hating for the sake of hating. Yeah, I think a lot of them are showing up to get paid. That first lady that came up and talked, she don't even speak English. Of course, they said, "Okay, we'll pay you $20 to come up here and say this." Austell Gray says, and notice that the Pan-Africanists are nowhere to be found when all of these things are happening to Black Americans. Yeah, because I guess they have seen an opportunity to other themselves from us. So this, y'all, that just that just really wore me out. On one hand, we have Jean Wu talking about we need to come together because we're the majority. They're not the majority. Listen, even if, let's see, I want to see how many Latinos are in the US. So it says 68 million Latinos, Hispanics. They are a huge group, but there's several different ethnic groups in this group, and most of them do not like each other. It says that Mexicans are the largest subgroup, so 61% of 68 million. What is that? I'm gonna do the math real quick. 68 million times 61. So that's about 40 million people. So us and Mexicans pretty much have the same, around the same population in this country. So really, it would be us going toe to toe with Mexicans. But Mexicans, I'm not going to say that about Mexicans. I was going to say something bad about Mexicans. But I'm going to keep that to myself. Anyways, it says their GDP, like the Latino GDP, is 41 trillion. And they would rank as the 5th largest economy in the world. So that's for the Latinos. Let's see, for the Asians, it's about 24 to 25 million of them. And the largest group out of them is the Chinese, which is 5 million. So pretty much these are pretty much large numbers of people, but they're all divided ethnically. We are the largest ethnic group in this country. If we exclude all of the immigrants out of our group, it's about 43 million of us in this country. So even if the Latinos and the Asians combine together, they would all have to be on the same page. That will never happen. We're the only group that is pretty much on the same page. Red Six says, ironically, white people are now starting to complain that Asians are outperforming them to the point they are going to schools with less Asians so they can compete. Yeah. I remember even in Georgia, Johns Creek used to be like an affluent white area, but now it's like an affluent Asian area. They started moving out because the Asians were outperforming them. And they couldn't compete with them. So a lot of the white people moved out of Duluth and Johns Creek, just like the same is going on in Alpharetta. The Indians are dominating Alpharetta right now, and white people are moving away from Alpharetta. So I feel like white people, the only thing that they had over anybody in this world was that they were more violent. And they can't use their violence to dominate anymore. But they allowed all of these groups to come in, and now they're outperforming and outcompeting them. So that's why the best thing for us to do is just to focus on our own group and let these other people knock each other out. because that's what it's all about. The Asians want to beat the white people. The Latinos want to beat the white people. They want to beat each other, and we're still trying to just get justice for things that happened hundreds of years ago. So I wanted to end this on a happy note because that's just, it's so depressing, honestly. Oh, there was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, I wanted to talk about something else, but we're going to have to talk about that tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that tomorrow. But I saw this and I have never heard this song before. SWV, TLC, In Vogue, Escape, Aaliyah, Monica, Mary J. Blige, Vanessa Williams, Queen Latifah, Tracy Spencer, Michelle Indigacello, Karen White, Angie Stone, and more. I have never heard this song before. Do y'all remember this? That is a great song. I do not remember that song. Do y'all remember it? No sound. What? Hey, Naeem. I can't believe it. Y'all didn't hear that song? I just listened to like the whole thing. I'll play it again. Shoot. I'll play a little bit of it. I just listened to literally like the whole song because it was that good. So I'll play it again because just a little bit of it because I gotta go and go pick up a scene. He in the schoolhouse acting a fool.
We will not bow down to racism.
We will not bow down to
Injustice.
We will not bow down to
Exploitation. I'm gonna stand. I'm gonna stand. Now this is time for free your mind and your soul. Yo, our story has never been told. Ladies, you got to demand what you want and what we want is respect, right?
Come and take a walk with me, closer walk with me, see what only I can see.
This face. Check this. Watch this.
turn us loose, set us free from all the chains that bind me.
Let us run in our own direction.
Let us go, set us free from all this propaganda and lies that your people try to teach us. I know why you would like to bring us down.
Because we have all the deals on you. You try to tell us that our lives don't mean a thing, but we know so much better, so we're gonna take up the freedom.
Freedom for my mind, freedom for my spirit.
All this time you've been telling us these lies, but now we finally figured out okay.
Yeah, all that we would never wise up,
But we'll show the how black female can do.
so you continue to keep us away. But no, we ain't going out like that. Oh no, no.
All these lies and all this propaganda you want us to take, we're gonna take it. Freedom from my body,
Freedom from my mind, freedom from my spirit,
freedom for my body,
freedom from my honey, my soul.
I see the fear in your eyes, surprise, so cover been low. I know just who I am and what I wanna do. I can make you run, make you hide from all your ancestors, transgression that you hold inside. Sisters rising up and singing that our time is here. We're taking back what's been ours for years.
Let the heaven of a system embrace you and praise the mother
All these
God.
lies and all this propaganda that you want us to take, we're gonna take out.
I love that song. Amazing. I saw Panther actually on YouTube. Actually, no, I didn't see it on YouTube. I saw it on my JAILBROKEN FIRESTICK. But I don't remember this song, but it is a great song. And it encapsulates everything that we've been talking about today. Like, we're not allowing you to keep feeding us in these lies and propaganda. We're out for our justice. We want freedom. So on that note, this was a great show. Please like, share, subscribe, share it with anybody else who might need this type of information. We will be back tomorrow. You're welcome, Mickey Brooks. We are going to talk about another thing that I wanted to talk about, and it's about people that they might be bi-ethnics, they might be in our group, but they're coming at us and other people that might be very visible in our group, not just Tariq Nasheed, because of the things that we're saying. So I really want to talk about that tomorrow. Thanks again. I love y'all. I love being able to come and talk to y'all every single day at the same time. And I will see y'all in the tweets. And if not, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.